Okay. Good morning, all. Good morning, Saba. Good morning, Okan. Good morning, all who are going to watch this video later. First, I hope that all you are safe. And I think that it was a very tough week. Many families, they have to leave their home, and there was shortage in the supply and shortage in the seasonal supply and the gas. It was really a very tough and terrible week. I hope that we will not see the same images again. And I wish that all families who were out of their home, they will be back soon. Because being away from your own home, even though you will be in a safe place, you will not feel safe till you will be back at your home. The last week, based on the recommendation of the administration, all courses were stopped, even though the asynchronous online, because the priority was for the teachers, instructors, and the students to take care about their own stuff concerning the situation. And also, I have already extended the assignment 3. Since I have already extended the assignment 3 and we haven't given any material in the last week, so I have already canceled individual assignment 4. Because we have already planned to have 4 individual assignments, so now we will have only 3. So the grade of the assignment will be based on these 3 assignments. And the grade for the project will be based on the deliverable that you are going to deliver, plus the presentation. So the presentation, it is a must. The next week, I will sum up the course, and the week after will be an open stage for groups that they want to present their projects. If they will not attend the live session, because maybe many of you, they cannot attend, so they have to make a presentation offline between each other and share it. They can do it online also if they are not. I'm saying offline, which means that they will not be with us. And they can do it with each other and share with me the video. All the group member, I'm saying this before I start the lecture to be sure that you all understand the message that was sent with the project guidelines and the email. So all the group members should participate in the presentation. Why we need a presentation? First, to be sure that you have already done this work by yourself, because if you really did this work, then you can present it. 2, I believe that all students, especially now you are taking 300 courses, and so you should be able to make a good technical presentation about what you are doing. Because many students, they will graduate and still they will have a bad skills with presentation. And this will affect their searching for a job or a training, whatever it is. So it will be a good practice. And as I said, I will give a grade for the presentation, which means that based on the presentation, there will be part from the overall grade of the project, it will be for the presentation of the project. So take serious approach to the presentation, and you as a team, each team, you has to manage it internally, how they are going to make a presentation. The presentation can be 10 to 15 minutes, not more. It's up to you, but it is recommended to be not more than 15 minutes. You are going to run a demo and talk about the project and run a demo to see how it is working. So after you finish your website and make this connection with the database, then you are going to run the software in this and talk about it. When you are running the software, you will have to do this website. You need to talk about it, what you are doing here, what this page contains. It's up to you. I don't want to make any restriction how to make a presentation. Each group, it's up to them how they have to make the presentation. I'm very flexible to it because I don't want to make any restriction on the presentation. I want to keep it for you how we are going to make this presentation. Okay, so let's start today about advanced queries and PHP filters. Today, even though the last time I said, okay, we give enough question about or enough information about SQL queries that we use it with to make this queries with a MySQL server. However, I believe that because it seems that many of you they don't have a good database background. This lecture also I will add part of this lecture to have more advanced queries. Let's talk about it, and I want to talk about PHP filters today. PHP filters, we have already talked about filters before, but maybe when we talk about HTML synthesization, but we don't go deeply and detailed with it. Today we will discuss it in more detailed way, and this is a good topic because you always need to have a secure not only I'm not talking about the security of the website as a website. I'm talking more about that you should, because we're talking about the database, you should be aware that the data that's being inserted or sent by the user, it should be a data as is being expected, not a harmful data that can harm your system later, like sending some code or whatever it is. Plus, even though, by the way, most of the form should be validated using a client-side base, what you have already learned before, that you can use JavaScript or any other client-side scripting language where you can double-check the form if it is within the format that you have already expected, like having the first name only, having it with character, there's no numbers, or having a date based on a special format. However, also from the server side, you should also be aware that all data is being sanitized before you are going to save it in your database system. So this is the two main topics that we are going to talk about it today. So the advanced query that I want to share it with you today, based on what we have already discussed before, that we discuss how to make insert, select, update, delete, and we talk more about them using different examples. And also we talk more about the group by and order by and having how to make condition when you are going to make a grouping for them. However, I think that we need also to talk about when we are going to retrieve data from not one table, more than one table. Because all the examples that we have already mentioned before in the lecture before, even though they are somehow advanced, like when we talk about group by and having and order by and different and renaming, but we were dealing with one table, which means selecting a data from one table. But in some cases, like assignment 3, and by the way, I keep it that for the assignment that you go and make and search how you build a query and deal with it with two tables, since I have already give you the table structure. So, but today I will discuss different scenarios about when you have two tables. So the first one, it is Cartesian product, we name it. It's Cartesian product, which means that you are going to take the data from the whole data from the table. So again, when we talk about a query, you know this, we are not changing the structure of the table. So we are just selecting a data based on a special format. Then when we talk about, for example, group by, so group by doesn't mean we are going to change the data, but the data that we retrieve it, we will group by. So here, if I want to get data from two tables, if I want to get the whole data from the two tables, I can use a Cartesian product. Cartesian product, it is not somehow it's being used because it returns everything. Normally, it should be used with a condition later. So I have a relation R and a relation S, a table R and a table S. If I said, okay, I want to make a Cartesian product between these two tables to select the database, a Cartesian product from these two tables. Cartesian product means that I will take the first row from the whole rows and the second one from the whole row. So the output will be like this. As if I have a new table, it has the attribute from this table, and it had the attribute from the other table here. And as I said that if it is one, I will take the first one with the others all, and the second one with the others all. So like you can see here, 1, 2, 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 1, 2, 9, 10, 11. This is the output of a Cartesian product between two tables. How I can, for example, let's take this example. You have a table instructor and you have a table teach. So the Cartesian product between of them will be this table. So this is, you can retrieve data from the two tables. However, now this, again, I said, when we are going to use Cartesian product, we are just merging data from two tables without any condition, without any restriction. It's not like always there should be, normally when we retrieve data from two tables, normally there will be, let's say, data talking about they have a special attribute, as we will see later, or based on a condition, but this is a very generic and generalized one, but you should know about it. How we can write this in SQL query? So we can do it like this. We can say select the star from, here in the from, before we have already, when we talk about one table, we make select the star from instructor, because we are talking about one table. But however, if you are talking about more than one table, so in this case, in the from, we can mention the two tables in this case, that's all. And so if you do this, you will get this new retrieved data from the two tables being merged in this way. Each row with the whole row, the other one. Again, there is no condition, there is no restriction in Cartesian product. It's not like other one that we will see it now. Natural join. Natural join, it's being used whenever we will have table. These two tables, they have a common attribute, and this is used many times. For example, you have, this is, let's say this is table R, and this is table S, and you will have, sorry. You will have, for example, you are going to do natural join. Natural join means that you are going to retrieve data from these two tables based on the common value and the common attribute. Again, based on the common value and the common attribute. How we do this? So what is a common attribute here? We have B as a common attribute here. So what is the common value and the common attribute? Here we have 2 or 4, here we have 2, 4. So we will start with this, 1, 2. If this row has a common value and the common attribute, yes, 2, 2, so we'll take it. The query will return it. This is 1, 2 was here. Here I have 2, here I have 4, so it will not take it. 1, 2, 9, 11, 12, so here 2, 9, so we'll not take it. Let's go to the other one. 3, 4, here we'll have 2, here we'll have 2, will not take it. Here 3, 4, we will have 4, okay, we will take it. So 3, 4, 7, 8. Here 3, 4, 9, 11, 12. So in this case, we will not take it. So the output will be this. Natural join is used in many places when we deal with the database system, and especially when we talk about, for example, MySQL database system. Why? Because normally we are talking about a relational database system. What do you mean by relational database system? Saba, what do you mean by relational database system? Are you here, Saba?
Yes, sorry. Sorry, what was the question? Relation of database systems?
Yeah, what do you mean by relational database system?
Like how they interact with the other databases and how they're linked up together, kind of.
What do you mean by other databases?
By other tables in the database, sorry.
Yeah, okay, so not other databases. So how the tables within the same database they are going to interact with each other.
Yes, sorry.
So no worry, but can you clarify it more? So when you said interact, what do you mean?
So, for example, like you could have one piece of data from one table be linked to another piece of data, almost like in a foreign key system.
This is why I'm asking you many more questions to let you use the technical term that you should use in this case.
Yes.
Because when we talk about piece of data, it's somehow a very generic word, not the exact technical word that you should use it here in this case. So when you said piece of data, what do you mean?
I mean like a actual how do I say this? Like one data point, for example, as for like the
So let me help you. So we will have table A, table B. Table A have X, Y, Z as an attributes, and table B have X prime, Y prime, Z prime as an attributes. So if there is a relationship between these two tables, how the relationship will be?
so it would be Y prime, for example, would be
If it is Y prime, if Y prime is the primary key, let's suppose, then there should be a copy from the primary key in the first table, suppose, as a foreign key.
Yes.
So this is a point. So the relationship between tables can be done by moving or making a copy from the primary key of one and the other one as a foreign key. This is what was expecting to hear, Sauba.
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much, because yes, this is what I said before, that we as a student should be more familiar with the technical terminology in order to express ourselves in using technical words. This is very important in the industry. Very important in the industry. When you go to the industry, I've seen this many times, because some students will come, okay, they want to work, okay, good. Each one will graduate and work. However, it doesn't. He or she doesn't know how to express their own knowledge in a good way in using the technical frames that they have to use it. So this is why the presentation can be, in this case, a practice for this. So you all as a student, it will be a nice advice for you all. Good to know the knowledge. Good to know about what's taking place in this course. But you should practice and get the technical word that should be used in these cases, because later, as a computer scientist, as a software developer, as a software engineer, whatever the title that you will have later, you should use the technical terminology when you are dealing with this different stuff. So as Saba said, so in this case, whenever we talk about relation database, there is a relation. First, each table is a set of attributes, and these attributes somehow they have some relation between each other, talking about the same topic. This is why the table we name it relation. And there is a relationship between different relations or between different tables. So this relationship can be between having foreign keys in the other tables, which is the copy from the primary key from the first table, or vice versa. So this is what you mean by relational database. This is why natural join here that we are talking about it talks when you retrieve data from two tables that they have a common attribute. In this case, what is a common attribute in this case? Gurkan, can you tell me what will be the common attribute in this case? Are you still here, Gurkan?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Did you get my question?
Like the common attribute between these two tables?
Yeah, in general, when you talk about common attribute between two relations or two tables in the same database, you are talking about what?
Yeah, it's like it would be the one which have the common values within it. You share the common
No, I'm
values.
not talking about the common values. I'm not talking about how you are going to make joining. I'm talking in general. When I said there is a common attributes or attribute between two tables, this attribute, what is? Normally, it should be what?
It should be a primary key, I think, or
Yeah, it will be the primary key for the first one, and it will be the foreign key of the second one, or vice versa.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the point. So natural join, when we said, okay, when there is a common attribute and then the common value is a common attribute, which means that we are going to retrieve data based in the common value between the foreign key and the primary key. That is the relation between these two, the common attribute in this case. So this is why natural join is going to be used so much in this case. And it is restricted, not like Cartesian. Cartesian, you can use it to get data from two tables, even though there is no relationship between both of them. Here, no. You can't apply natural join without having a common attribute or a common value in this between both of them in this case. So natural join mean here we can do it in two cases. Either we can say, okay, using where, which mean like we do before in the Cartesian, said from instructor teach, mentioning the both tables. And then we said where instructor ID equal teacher's ID. Instructor ID and teaching ID, it is a common attribute between both of them. Or we go ahead and say, okay, we can make a select, but we use a natural join here. There is a terminology we can use it in SQL query, the word natural join. Rather than writing from where, to just we can say instructor teaches, natural join teaches. No need to go to write where. Both of them, they are the same. Both are the same. So like here, select star from instructor natural join teach. So we are going to select everything based on this natural join. So we will get the values that they are common in the common attribute, and then you will get the rows where you get the whole row where the value are the common value and the common attribute. This will be the output for both of them in this case. Set the join. It's somehow like natural join, however, we don't have, it is not a must to have a common attribute. We should have a condition. So it's not like Cartesian product that you will get everything, then you get all rows, merge them with the second rows on the second table. It's not like natural join, which means that you will get only the rows where there's a common value in the common attribute. You will get row from the first table, merging them from the second table, but based in a condition. Like here, you said, okay, you will merge whenever there is A less than D. So if you will go to the first row here, okay, what is the value of A here? 1. We said it's less than D. What is the value? Is 4. So A here less than the value of 4. So we can take this. Go back, go to the next one. The value of A1, the value of D5, so we can take it. The value of A1, the value of D10, we can take it. Now what about going to the second row? The value of here 6. So here the value is 4, we can't take it. Here the value 6, the value 5, we can't take it. The value 6 of A, the value of D10, we can't take it. So here will be here we take it. So the last row here, the value of A is 9, the value of D here 4. So we can take it. The value 9, 5, we can take it. Value 9, 10, So we can take it in this case. So if we want to take it here, so we'll be here, this is the output of this SETA join. So SETA, again, we are not creating a new table in the database. Be aware of this. We are retrieving data, but the output that we will retrieve it will be special output based on this. This is why in maybe in the assignment 3 that you will use it, maybe you need to get data from more than one table, so you can use one of these joining aspects, how you can join data from different tables. Plus, there is a final point I want, this is advanced queries that we are talking about, nested query. Nested query, then you can have a sub-query within the main query. When you are going to execute a query to send it to your database system, to the database of your website, sometimes you need to have a sub-query and another query. We're not talking about joining to a query. We're not talking about a nested sub-query within a query, which means that the nested one will be compiled first, and then the output for this nested one, that you will use it. This output, you will use it for the first one. Let's see how. Sorry. The question said, find courses. You have this table. Nested sub-query can be used if you have more than one table you want to deal with it, or the same table. Richard, good morning. So, in this case, if you will have table like here, there's table course, you have ID, you have a course ID, you have a section ID. And the question said find courses offered in fall 2009 and in spring 2010. Richard, are you here? Can you help us in this if you are still here? Yes. Do you have a mic?
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. You?
You are sleeping well now?
Yeah. I was feeling a little sick this morning, so I stayed in bed longer than I was supposed to.
Good. With time, you can manage your sleeping in a better way.
Yeah.
Especially when you return back to the university, maybe next semester we'll have courses at the campus.
Yeah.
Tell me, where do you live? It was safe where do you live?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Perfect. So my question said, okay, we have only one table, and we want to create a query that will find courses in fall 2009 and in spring 2010. If we don't know the nested sub-query, can you create a query to get this data?
I guess you would.
So
you would do two
classical query is select from where group by having you can use this if you can use this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would do two queries where you select from. You would select from semester and year of this database. Looking for one of the queries would be looking for fall of 2009. The other one would be spring of 2010.
Okay, so you mean not only one query? We need two queries. Why we can't do one query only?
I mean, there's probably some way, but I can't. I haven't done anything like that, or at least I can't remember.
Yeah, let me and you think it in an outly way. So if we will do only one query, in this case, only one query.
Yeah.
So select, let's say select course ID, or let's select a star from this name table course where. Now the problem how I can create where. If I said where semester equal fall and year equal 2009, so far it's okay. Yeah. If I said and semester equal spring, so now this condition is not logical one because the semester either will be spring or fall.
Yeah.
So if you set fall and spring at the same time, you will not get any data, because select where. So the semester here, according to this value here, either can be fall and spring. So if you want to select fall and spring, and you write in the condition of one query, fall and spring, you will get nothing, because either it will be fall or spring.
Yeah.
So what you said is correctly. So we have to get the data for fall 2009, but wait, and data for, but what I'm saying that I need to have a course that they will be, or they normally can be taught in spring 2010 and fall 2009. I'm not saying to get me the courses of the fall 2009 and spring 2010. No, I'm talking about the courses that will be taught here and there at the same time. Like, for example, suppose that CIS 245, we can be here in Canada, we name it winter, not the spring. So suppose that we will have a course in fall, and the same course CIS 24, it will be given in the spring. So this course can be retrieved. So if you want to make two queries, Richard, how you are going to write these two queries? Two different queries, you mean, and then you will merge them?
Yeah, it'd be, yeah, that's what I was thinking. You'd have two queries.
Okay, let me and you go ahead and think loudly about it. So you will write select, let's say, course ID from this table. Let's suppose it's name course, where semester equal fall and year equal 2009. This is the first query.
Yeah.
And then you create another query and execute it. Select course ID where semester equal spring and year equal 2010. So, and then that's all. So the query not telling about the courses that will be given the two semesters. The courses that will be given, the common courses in these two semesters. You got it?
I'm sorry, what?
I said the question say that we are searching for the courses that will be given in these two semesters.
Yeah.
So based on what we said so far, we will get all courses of fall and we will get all courses of spring. However, there are some courses that will be given only in the fall and will not be given in the spring.
Oh, you're looking at the ones that are offered in both.
Yeah, this is find courses offered in fall 2000 and in spring 2000.
Okay.
And
that's my bad. I got confused there.
Okay, so
I guess
do you have any solution for this?
I guess then after the queries, you would compare the two based on the course IDs and find ones that are in both of them.
Okay, but now, yeah, okay. Now you think, okay, so you will retrieve this data and then retrieve the data you will take the output from the first query, output from the second query, and you are going to make another processing to make this comparison and get the common one. So as if you are creating a third query now.
Yeah.
Okay, and there is a solution for this using nested query.
Okay.
So this is the main discussion between me and you to go ahead and to reach why we need nested subquery.
Yeah.
So this is the main aim from the nested subquery. Nested subquery, which means in the same query, you can have two queries at the same time, like here.
Okay.
So here we said, okay, select distant course ID from, suppose it is section, the name of this table, where semester equal fall and year, and course ID, which means that there should be satisfied two conditions, because this will return for me the course ID for the courses that will be offered in fall and 2009. And some of these courses, they are offered in spring, some not. But I make another condition that the course ID that should be here retrieved should be also this course IDs has been retrieved in this query. This query talk about spring and year. Nested subquery, as I said here, the inner one will be executed first, then the outer one.
Okay.
So your compiler will go and do this.
Yeah.
get the data from this, and then it will be saved in a temporary place. And then you will execute this, and then execute the common condition where semester equal fall and use 2009, and course ID from this. So we can do all this using one query, but this query will be nested. We will have two query. One of them, it is a subquery or the inner subquery that will be executed first. Is it clear?
Yeah, that's much better than what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, the point that this course, it should be web programming, but it seems that the last lecture and this lecture, I'm talking more about database system, today I'm discussing more advanced, because you can't build a website without a database, and in the database you will have different cases where you need to get data from different tables. So this is why I said, to be honest, when I prepared the course, I was not preparing to give this so much detail about database system, but based on the discussion with different students in the office hour and feedback, it seemed that our students, they don't have enough knowledge about database systems. So in order that to be sure that they can create a website in a complete way, they should have all this knowledge about database system. I hope that this knowledge will help you all who are here and who is going to watch the video later. Yeah. So what about, thank you so much, Richard. So the same, if we will go to another query, let's say that not in, so just we will add, rather than using in like here, we will use not in. Nested subquery, it is very advanced in database system. However, it should be used when you need it, like here. And this, by the way, it can be used in where, and it can be used in from, not only in where, like here. So here you are asked to get the average salaries. The average salaries of instructor salary for this department, who the average salary. We talked before about when we want to apply aggregation function for a group. We said we use group by, and sometimes we said if you want, there is a condition, you can use having after this condition. So in our case, you can also, it may depend where you want to use it, but if you feel that you are going to build a condition. By the way, this one can be used maybe using having. No need to nested subquery in this case. However, just here's an example to let you see that you can use a nested subquery in the from, not only in the where. And sometimes you are going to make a further condition on a data after you have already retrieved it from the first query. So you will go in the from, you create another subquery or any query, and then when you will do a where, this condition will be based on the output for this subquery. This is more advanced. So nested subquery, again, nested subquery, or again, nested subquery, or inner subquery can be used in the from and the where. I hope that this is can help you in this today about nested subquery. I will let's about having a small exercise before we'll go to the other part about the filters, and I will share it with you all in the lecture within the lecture later. So guys, are you interested to have small exercises? It will not be a coding, just we can write queries or discuss the output for queries when we will have this more than table dealing with it. Give me 2 thumbs up to go to the exercises, or I continue without exercises. Don't be afraid about exercises. Richard, Saba, Gokhan, are you here? Okay, so if you want to have it, okay, let's go ahead and see what more questions we will have it here. Give me just a second. We have already talked before about how to make HTML sanitization, but let's talk more detail today about PHP filters. I'm going to talk more about how we sanitize the input that we will get from the user. To be sure this data that is going to go to the database, it will be based on the expected format, and also there is no harmful data. When I talk about no harmful data, there is no scripting data, whatever it is being saved. So PHP filters, the main function that we can be used, it is filter var. It is a PHP built-in function. We can use it. It takes two pieces of data, or it takes two pieces of argument. What you want to check and what kind of data want to check, or based on what you want to check. So for example, here I can use this PHP filter var, for example, and this one talk about we are talking about filter var, and we talk string and filter sanitization string. Okay, so what this mean? That is this filter var, after we get the input from the user, whatever it is the input, and we said to the user, here we will get the data before we go send it to the query. We will do this before we go send it to the query. And then filter sanitize string, which means that, example, function to remove all HTML tags. So in this case, the data that will be sent to the database, it be without the HTML tag. Why we need this? We talk about it, but you use HTML sanitize, we use another function, but now we're talking about filter var, how to use it in general. But this is because we to be sure that we are not receiving any scripting language, and maybe this script will be saved in our database system and later it will be harmful, is being executed by this hacker or whatever it is. Because you make a format and you ask the user to put data, and this data you select it and send it to the database. So sometimes you should sanitize this data before you send it to the query and then execute the query, as we do always. So filter sanitize string, it is a predefined filters also that can be used, a filter var, that it's talk about HTML tags or deleting the HTML tags from the text in this case. So filter var will take two arguments, the string that you want and what kind of filter you will use it. Here, filter sanitize string, it is filter for HTML in this case. This is what we'll talk about filtration if it is an integer. So if you want to know that, for example, you expect that the user this format has to put only integer. Again, sometimes you should already, if you don't want to do it in the PHP, because PHP it is server side. If you can do it in the script in the client side, which means, for example, JavaScript, whatever it is using in the client side, to make this such kind of filtering. However, if you didn't do it in the client side, you still can do it in the server side by using filter validate in. So you will send the integer value or the value, and then you will send this filter, such kind of filter, to be sure that is this filter somehow this filter, it's based on what we have already expected, which is in this case integer. So if it is not integer, it will return false. This is good to be sure that you are getting an integer value. It's not only getting a string, which means there is a character within the data that the user had already entered. Because of the 0, because here for somehow validate int will not take care for the 0 if only one 0 is being entered as an integer. So you should take care if it is equal 0 plus this. It's better to use it in this case to deal with the problem of 0, because if you didn't do this, it will not consider 0 as an integer in this case based on this filter. Validate an IP address, because sometimes you get a data talking about an IP, and you should know that this data that's being entered, it's really an IP format. So there is a filter named, I'm quite sure most of you we talked at the beginning of this course what we mean by IP, that Internet Protocol address, and that each computer is going to be online, and there will be an IP that's talk about this computer, and something this will be given by your internet service provider, that each one will have its own IP. It will not be static. Some it will be static for the server. Server will have a static IP, but the normal user will not have a static IP. I think also in the course when you take course networking, you should know familiar with it. But however, now suppose we want to save data about the IP, so we'll be sure this data is being an IP, so we can use this filter validate IP in this case. Okay, so now you know about IP version 6, guys? Have you heard about this? Go ahead, tell us, Richard, what you know about this one.
Well, it's like an updated version of IPv4, where it's a lot longer. Perfect.
So to be a longer one, and because we have more users using the internet at the same time, so we need more IPs. Because again, I said the IP, it will be that each active user now in the internet will have its own IP. Yeah, but when he will be shut down and disconnected, another one will have this IP. But because we have a huge amount of active users, so we need more IP range. So this is IP6. So in PHP, they have already built also talk about that adding in this filter means validate IP, and you go more restricted, telling that this is not only IP, this is also IP version 6. Sorry. Okay. So what about email address? There is already a filter, we name it filter sanitize email. You can just call it using filter var, and it will return you if it is a valid email address or not. Valid email address, which means that it uses the format of the email address. Doesn't mean that this email is valid where it is. For example, that email address should be ismail@x.com, so it will be like this. It doesn't mean that maybe this ismail@gmail.com it doesn't exist. The filter will not know about it, but the filter will know if it is a validated email address based on the format of this email address. And we need it because sometimes we'll ask the user for email address. Again, you will use filter in the server side if you didn't make any restriction in the client side, in the form in the client side. So it depends about your other program. If you have already validated the input and the form, it's okay. But sometimes the source of the data will be based on maybe we are talking with another database that we don't know how it is the data being saved. So it depends where you need to make this sanitizing or filtering. If you have already done it in the client side, there is no need to do it in the server side. But sometimes if your source of data is from different places and you need to do it to be sure that this data satisfy this format, because before you go to the database, you're going to do it using PHP code at the server side using this filters in this case. So again, like URL, like here, so we can be used like, this is a normal URL or not. This is a format of URL. So having this format, the user had already sent me URL, yes, no. So this is another filter you can use it to be sure that the data that's being entered is a URL data. This is a whole for today. About this, there are more filters you can check in the reference. This is what I want to share with you today. So today we finish about, I'm quite sure that we will not talk anymore about SQL database system. So we talk about it so much. However, if you still have any question, go ahead, send me email or join the virtual office hour. I'm excited to return back to the campus. I'm giving online courses almost now 2 years. I forgot what mean by giving lecture in a campus, and maybe most of us hope that next semester we'll be back there. So guys, do you have any question? If you don't have any question, I have a question concerning project, if you can tell me. Richard, have you started with a project?
No, not yet.
Have you contacted with your teammate, asking that to schedule a meeting between all of you?
No, to be honest, no. I'm getting all the projects for my other classes as well. All the final projects.
Okay. Yeah, but one of the team should initiate this connection, which means one of the team should go ahead and write something and go and send emails that, because time is flying.
Yeah.
So you should take care for this. Okay, why not you do it with your team, that send them email, tell them when we can meet, maybe share contact. Because you.
To be completely, I've just been procrastinating a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as maybe you were not at the beginning. I said there is a presentation. The whole teammate should be teammates. You should be somehow involved in this presentation. That they either you will make it here in the live session, or you make it with the team, and then you share me the presentation. So there is a portion for the grade based on the presentation.
Okay.
So you should start contacting each other.
Yeah.
Gorkan, thank you so much, Richard. Gorkan, tell me about the project. What's taking place?
Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm hearing you well.
We just got up with the idea about what thing to make up. We just made that plan, what database we are going to make. But we have
I don't want to ask about detail about what you're doing. Just you have already started a contact. So now you contacted each other and you start doing some meetings.
Yeah, we did some things on the group, like we have group chat together. So we discuss ideas about the project.
Perfect. I just want to be sure that, because for all of you and who's going to watch this video, that take care that you should start working now, because I know that students, they will wait till the last minute to start working, and then they will not get a nice outcome. So be sure that you have started now contacting and with the other, and you have your own channel of communication using any platform you want to use. Okay, good, Gorkan. Good news. What about you, Saba?
We're doing pretty good. We've contacted each other. We've set up a group chat to discuss. We have decided what topic we want to do. I don't know. We've decided to do the medicine tracker.
So no, if the topic it is within the list, you don't need any approval from my side.
Yeah, I was just letting you know. Anyways, but yeah, we're pretty far along. We're planning on meeting up tonight to try and get a basic scope down and start writing the report on it. And then yeah, we'll start to get the coding in.
Okay, perfect. Okay, nice. Okay, guys, I hope that you stay safe. Especially there is another storm maybe starting today afternoon. So take care all.
Goodbye.
Give me 2 thumbs up to leave today.
I just had one question.
Go ahead.
Regarding a different class. What are you teaching Comp 251 next semester?
I'm giving next semester, yes, I'm not telling you exactly what I'm giving. Yeah, I will give you exactly. I'm giving 154, 145 so far, but this is so far what's being already. So 15. So I'm giving 155 and 251 and 154.
Okay. I'll see you in 251.
155.
I'll see you in 251 next.
Yeah, good to see you there. So we will have it. This course will be in the campus, so we will have it a physical course as a campus in this case.
Yeah, this will be my first time actually going on the campus. So
yeah, me the same since 2 years.
Not gonna lie, the 8:30 start time is a bit tough, but we'll get through it, I think.
Don't worry, we can see how we can manage it, all of us. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Do you have any more to want to discuss it with me?
Not from me.
Give me thumbs up then, Saba.
Absolutely.
Gurkhan. Okay, see you guys. Take care. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.